Brilliant 3-0 win against Crystal Palace for Man City. And you know what? I needed that because I'm searching for the top four. Yeah, there's the team I support's behind me. Not City. There's some City stuff over there. But Man United. Anyways, smash the likes. I've got a lot of positive things to say about this game. I've got a few facts as well. You know, might enjoy it. Subscribe if you're brand new. You might see me around with Daps as I live with the guy, you know. Not by choice, really. I'm held against my will. Smash the likes. Look, let's get straight down into the game. Palace, second half gassed out and City took full advantage. But I kept saying during the game, and I was saying this, Haaland keeps looking for the back post. There is a game plan here, and it will just pop up, right? And Matheus Nunes with that whip, oh my word, he's done that again. I think he's done that twice this season. That makes it a third time. Now, let's just see. Let's break the game down for what it was in the first half. It was a cluster of rubbish, right? Didn't know which team was going to get the goal. Palace were pressuring very well. Just could not get the goods. But some reason, I don't know if you guys felt like this, but there was still an element of calmness amongst the City defense. It's like it was false pressure. But people don't know this. Does anyone know that? Or did anyone know that doesn't support City? Because I guess you lot do. Palace haven't beaten City at Selhurst Park in many, many years, like a decade. In a decade. 2015 might have been one of the last times. That's mental. Take that into account. And we always talk about City's away record. We're going to get into that, right? And the last time they did lose was against Newcastle and Aston Villa. 2 away games, very, very difficult. One in different in each month as well. One in November, one in October. But it's improving. You can't deny that it's not improving either. So, but yeah, look, for me, I'm going to say it nice and early. You're not going to have to get into this with me. I thought Matheus Nunes was man of the match. I know it's easy to say Foden, Cherki, or somebody else, but for me, Matheus Nunes was brilliant, man. You know, if you're talking about a man, right, that's been absolutely slaughtered last year for being out of position, having a bozo mistake, anything along those lines, you'd think that he's got no career going further forward. Now, I don't know if he's playing for a new contract or he wants something decent for him, so I don't know. But the man is brand new and he's playing out of his socks, right? And he needs the flowers he deserves. And I thought I'd bring that up because he was a big part of why you lot won today. And even defensively, he was solid. Yeremy Pino got into a couple good positions, but that's not down to Nunes' positioning. To be fair, that's down to really Nico Gonzalez either losing the ball or just a wayward pass in possession where they're pressing. So I thought I'd put that out there. But Foden is on fire. The man is magic. And there's a good reason why I always, you know what, I don't get onto him. But I'm always in praise for him. Because one, I'm not going to deny it, he's English. And I really want English players to do well more than others. Of course, naturally. Want him to stay fit. The guy's come back from from hell, back on earth. Now he's playing. I don't know if he's mentally stable. I don't know what the case is. But the man is performing. And he's happy, playing with a smile on his face. And it's weird from this coming from a Man United fan, right? But look, I run a multi-club channel. I live with a City fan. Trust me, I've got to be fair. I'm just going to speak about what's true. The guy has now got 6 Premier League goals in his last 4. Take that into account. And he's got a couple assists along the way as well, which was further back. That's impressive. For someone that needs to be at the World Cup, that can offer a firing edge where everyone else like Cole Palmer's too busy injured or whatever, he's making a case. That man is an 8. Today, he ran the show, especially in the second half. Him and Cherki have got such a great relationship on the pitch, and Matheus Nunes as well. And with Bernardo Silva, if you want to add a little bit of flavour. But for me today, that sat-nav, meet me. I'm telling you now, Foden is going on course to having one of his better seasons yet again, and he won't get spoken about because no one cares about City, right? Correct? No, he's so rubbish that all of a sudden after one season falling off, so crap. Now, we're going to have to hear about comparisons, you know, him against Saka and all that rubbish when he comes into form. No one talks about Foden enough, you know, PFA Player of the Year. The guy is mint. You can't deny what he's doing. And there's one little missing piece, I feel like, in that midfield for him to thrive even further. And that's probably an 8, like a solid brute kind of 8, like maybe an Elliot Anderson. I think his game evolves even more. But for him, today, what he was doing against Kamada, dragging him out of position as well, things like that go unnoticed. And that's what gives City a lot of space in the second half, which was brilliant for me from what I could see on a tactical standpoint. You know, what Foden can do and manipulate, right, in terms of positioning, it just allows lots of space for Nico Riley to especially to, you know, bomb down the line. He's having a top season, looking like England's best left back as well. For now, we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I'm a big advocate of his because I think like he's just got that build that is just perfect, right? But what he does for the team, you can see why Pep Guardiola took his time with Foden and put him into a role where he trusts him to do the job that's required, right? He is the glue at this point. He's on fire and he deserves a lot of praise. Whether you don't think he was man of the match or not is up to you. But for me, he definitely was probably second. I think Nunez's whole contribution was undoubtedly, I think it was phenomenal, man. Or maybe because I'm a bit biased because I'm a fullback myself / centre mid. But the way I look at things is, if it wasn't for him, it's that he, like, if you look at him even command and line, he's vocal as well. Has anyone noticed this? You talk about Ruben Diaz being a leader. Talk about Nunes when he's shouting at Donnarumma. He's pointing fingers of Nico Gonzalez where to be. His communication with Cherki, you hear it on the he was hearing it on the actual TV itself. You can see him talking with him all the time. That is something that is developing into, I don't know what to call it, probably just a decent partnership as of now, but I think it's underrated. It's very, very underrated. And Cherki, don't even get me started on that, man. He is a joke. You lot have got an absolute gem. Whilst those lot in Merseyside have picked up Verts for pretty much 100 million more, you got the better deal, the better slice of the pie. And I'm telling you now, it's juicy. Cherki is a joke, man. When that guy is playing with both feet, taking free kicks, corners with both feet, yeah, getting a well-deserved assist as well. The touch, he could have went down. He could have got a free kick, but he stayed up. Even his strength alone of like his balance. Does it remind you of Sterling a little bit? You know, them players that don't look like they've got much stature, but when it comes to balance, you can't push them off the ball. And he was doing that all day long with 1-2s. Mitchell could not eat that man up whatsoever. He had him on toast. Absolutely had him on toast. And you know what? You'd probably say that Cherki deserved a little bit more out of that game. Probably a goal. But he is making a name for himself of why he should be starting on that right week in, week out. And no one can find a solution for it yet. Not yet. I don't really see Cherki be quiet in games. He's always making some sort of impact. Always. And you know what? It's building confidence. You can see how trim he is. You can see Pep Guardiola loves him. He is very, very unique. Yeah, and you've got to keep playing him and Foden and Bernardo in some cases together. Because Nunes does a lot of the running for him, but Cherki's work rate off the ball, this is something we keep getting told about him. Oh, you know, he's got attitude problems. He doesn't work hard enough. That's rubbish. You're talking into a Cherki character that was about 4 years ago, 3 years ago. I'm not trying to hear none of that. The man's hungry and you can see he's willing to learn. And he's putting it on the pitch at the moment, from what I can see. And probably off the pitch, he's probably doing his bit as well, because otherwise he wouldn't play. You know, so that's that. And you know what? Here's another thing. Let me tell you something. If I said to you that in the last 5 games, all competition, or obviously all comps, Haaland has scored 4 goals out of your last 16 in 5 games. And you know, when Arsenal fans, not to just to name drop, you know, when he says, I've been kind of critical of this as well. If Haaland doesn't score, who scores? Well, there's your answer. They've scored 12 other goals from other players, Foden, Cherkis, Reinders and all sorts, right? Vardiol's even got in on the score sheet. If I'm to say that to you guys, you'd probably say, no, you're talking rubbish, until you look at the facts. Haaland has scored 4 goals in the last 16 in the last 5 games in all comps. Now, that's something that was being criticised of Pep Guardiola. You know, it's all going through Haaland. But if you see what Haaland's contributing, if you go look at the goal even for Foden's, go look at his work off the ball. If it wasn't for Haaland, that goal would never have happened. Even the commentator said Haaland's contribution defensively is going unnoticed and unmatched at the moment. And we talk about Gyökeres's and all these other players, when they come up against low blocks or deep lines, what are they doing in the game? Haaland pops up. Got a brace today. Yeah, one being a penalty, sure. But look at the goal that he took back post. You know, you find a way to do it because he's a good striker. And to say that he's not a complete footballer is absolutely shocking at this point. Maybe 2-3 years ago, you could see a Haaland that is really and truly in and amongst the goals and owning the goals. But in terms of hold-up play, yeah, he's doing his thing. In terms of contributing defensively, he's doing this thing, and he takes his time and he's clinical at it. And that's the big difference with Haaland and many other number 9s in the world right now. The whole Haaland versus Isak, squashed. The best striker in the world is Haaland, hands down. No one can tell me any different. But yeah, he deserves his props, man. And so does Mateus Nunes. And that's another clean sheet. We talk about Man City's defense, and you know they're always leaking goals. That's away from home. You know, their away record was looking spooky. If that doesn't talk about any iffy nonsense around Man City and their away record, then I don't know what else, because it's Crystal Palace. You know, they had, before Man United, they had what? They were unbeaten at Selhurst in what, 20 games or something stupid from February? Now both Manchester clubs have put them to the sword. And Man City playing more light work of that. 3-0. 3-0. And they had their full team on as well, bar Munoz, which I can understand, fair enough, but he's not going to be the difference maker in all of this. So Man City are just doing their thing, quietly. While there's a lot of raving and da-da-da around Arsenal, it's a joke. How about this? I'll give you another stat. I came prepared, thanks to Daps anyways. And you know what, you can see it for yourself. In the Premier League table, Man City have more goal difference than Arsenal. Now, the great Sir Alex Ferguson, I know some of you don't want to say it, they say attack wins you games, defense wins you titles. I mean, when you're looking at it from this perspective, go look at Man City's goals conceded. It's not as much as what people think, you know. I'm just saying that defense is solid. It's just sometimes when there isn't an Nico Gonzalez, there needs to be a solution. But anyways, look, Man City are moving quite scary at the moment. You know, the amount of goals they're shipping in to other people's nets or other clubs' nets is a joke. 16 in the last 5 is a joke. That is averaging, what, 3 goals a game? Over 3 goals a game? And one of them's nearly at the burnabout. So, yeah, man. Look, people, smash the likes. If you like what you hear, great. If you don't, then maybe next time. But that's that, man. You lot, well deserved. 3-0. I needed you lot to beat Palace. I need to get in the top 4. Cheers.